following is a special presentation. From the Captain Esports Network.
Sit 7 weeks away from the playoffs kicking off here in this Sim500 NCAA11.org Xfinity Series season. Tonight, another chance for somebody to get closer to that line and get themselves in to the playoffs, and more opportunities for those to either fall down the hole and out or set themselves up for a potential championship run in just a few weeks. As we get ready from the virtual Pocono Raceway, Pocono, Pennsylvania, it is race number 14 of the Sim500 NCAA11.org Xfinity Series here on the Captain Esports Network. I'm the Captain as we get ready to go racing here for 70 laps around this 2.5-mile triangle that is Pocono, and that is very, very tricky. Of course, last season it was Tyler Dalton going to victory lane and getting a win that he still says to this day he never expected, as he felt like he was never like the fastest car out here and so on and so forth. But he was able to get that win in a pretty interesting race, and tonight we'll see if he can go for two in a row here this evening. The fastest car in practice right now, Justin Fuller. He's the only car that has cracked the 54-second bracket of 54.99. Everybody else 55s all the way down to 57s in the end. But this triangle, of course, has three different size straightaways, three different corners of three different size bankings, and that's why they call it the tricky triangle, and it was the term where the original Roval came into play. I remember DW mentioning it in a race, like, this track drives like a Roval, and little we known, we actually would have a Roval later on in life to race on. But needless to say, we're not going to see that tonight. We're going to see great racing as you see the cars getting laps down the long front straightaway here, down to that 15-degree banked turn number 1, and they head down to turn 2 down the Long Pond straightaway before they hit that 9-degree banked tunnel turn, as you'll hear me reference tonight, and then down to turn 3, which is a sweeping 6-degree corner out of the short chute, which leads you back onto this front straightaway. So some say that in life there's 3 different triangles. I say no, there's 4. Because there's the Pocono Triangle, and some joke and say the Bermuda Triangle too, I guess, but that's 5. But anyways, needless to say, we get ready to go racing here this evening. Let's look at the point standings as we get ready to go into qualifying. Braxton DeWeese, after a second-place finish last week, is leading the points by 14. 2 rookies up there at the top, Braxton DeWeese and Stephen Miles here in Sim500 leading the points. Mike Kelly third, 27 points back. Scott Simley, his teammate there in fourth, and then Wesley Donaldson in P5. Mac McMillan hasn't been here the last couple of weeks, and I did not see his name on the list. Yep, he's here. So Mac is back, which is good. Callan, Tony Coleman, Dalton Rivera, and then you go down to 16th. Tommy Ryan right now is the bubble guy. 329. He's got 6 points over John Schweiker. Gerald Livingston's right there. Kevin Brown, Eric Arnold. All of these guys with a chance to get themselves in. It's not a win and in either. It is one of those you have to be in the top 16 in points to make it happen. So we'll have to see how that all transpires here this evening. But we got a great race in store for you here tonight at the Pocono Raceway. But first, right now, we get to set the pole award, which of course is presented by 811 Know It's Below and Call Before You Dig, as the cars will go out on track and likely be one and done. Very tough to do 2 laps here at Pocono and get yourself on the pole. Usually your fastest lap is the way around here, so we'll have to see how it all transpires. Let's see who's going to be the first one to cross the start-finish line here. I see Joe Hudson, the 43, going to be here to start his lap. And it looks like he's the first one on the clock here as they race up this long front straightaway, as I mentioned, down to turn 1 into the 15 degrees of banking right here. Car going to get a little loose. There's a bump in the middle, one that you do not want to hit, and I say a little loose. Hudson about had that thing wrecked up the Long Pond straightaway. Needless to say, Hudson's going to need that second lap, it looks like, for him. Let's go down to Joe. Let's hit Wesley Donaldson up here, the 91 car. This WBD diecast number 91. Wesley up the back straightaway. Now, again, the one thing that's hard to tell is if these guys are going for that second lap or if they're racing hard. As they go through the tunnel turn, there's Wesley down the short chute here into turn 3. Yeah, he's going to the top side here, so that's more of a throwaway lap. And he's going to run the second lap to get his hot lap here. So the first lap going to be Matthew Martell, a 55.41. Eric Arnold, a 56.05. Priory with a 19 to complete his lap. As here we go with the lap starting to cross through. Here's Tommy Ryan, who looked like he was on his way to victory lane last season, but looks like, last season in this race, led 25 laps. But he's going to throw away that first lap also, it looks like. So a lot of people are going to go for that second lap. Here's Doy Woods crossing the line in the 28 car. And a 56.14, not sure, again, who's throwing away laps here and who's not. As Chad Coleman comes across the line, he's P4 with a 55.1. I would say these guys going early, those are the ones that are getting their laps out quickly. As Tyler Dalton, 55 flat, and goes to pit road. That's a pretty good lap right there for the 19. Got that 200th pole a little over a week ago, and he messaged me this week. He goes, dude, all I'm doing is winning poles on the truck side now. I can't win poles on Sunday and Monday anymore. Well, right now he's on the pole, so we'll see if that changes. I know Fuller earlier put that 54.99 up in practice. Can he do it again? As Justin is coming down the Long Pond straightaway, it looks like right now. As he heads towards the tunnel turn, Tommy Ryan, 55.053 to the pole. So Tyler gets to hold on again. Jose Gonzalez up to 3rd. JP Phillips to 4th. Fuller in the green, but not in the purple. As he comes off turn 3, down to the start-finish line. Will it be good enough as he crosses the start-finish line to second? 55.55. Well, that's interesting for the number 55. That might be an omen for tonight right there. But Fuller going to start P2 as of right now. Who else is out on track? Here's E.J. O'Rourke in the unit's number 41 car. As he crosses the line, and O'Rourke is 18th. And who else is out here still yet to qualify? Hudson. Oh, Hudson's wrecked it over in turn 2 on lap number 2, so he will start in the back. Schweiker jumps up to P9 in his efforts. There's Ron Holyfield, the 811 number 21. And Holyfield going to be 31st. We'll see what he does on lap 2. And then Glenn Campbell now out on track. So qualifying should wrap up right now, as a matter of fact. So Tommy Ryan going to win the pole with a 55.05. So we'll get you ready for the grid here as they're going to go into warm-up. As the pole award presented by 811 Know It's Below. Call before you dig. We go trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right. As we go trackside now for the starting lineup here for the 70-lapper here at the Pocono Raceway. Tommy Ryan gets the pole, 55.053 second lap after his win at Kansas last week. He looks to go for 2 in a row tonight. He's got the very hot Justin Fuller there next to him. Runs a 55.055 in the number 55. So that's an interesting number combination. He'll start there in P2. Tyler Dalton and Jose Gonzalez in row number 2. J.P. Phillips, Robert Friery in row number 3. Row 4 is where you'll see Chad Coleman and Mac McMillan. And in row number 5 is where you see John Schweikert and Kevin DeBrown. As I bring up Tommy Ryan to the booth, man, congratulations on the pole this evening. And the question, you led 25 laps here last season, and you won last week at Kansas. Can we keep the momentum up?
Well, that is the plan. So, qualifying's important. You don't want to get back there in the suit. So hopefully get the Northern Camario in clean air. Justin's going to give me a hell of a fight here off the corner here. That's coming, but not going to sacrifice the car and the tires to make keep that lead. As long as I'm somewhere in the top 5, man, I'll be pretty happy to to run till the end. So just get in trouble here really quick, especially on cold tires. So it's going to be a little exciting start. I think it's pretty greasy out here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Well, hey, congratulations on winning the 811 pole, and let's see if we can get you in victory lane again tonight.
Right on, man.
All right, buddy. That is Tommy Ryan, the driver of the 99 Northern Tool car, as he will start in P1 here as the field gets rounded up and ready to go here. Let's get him down to his team there. And you see the race information tonight, 78 degrees, the usual iRacing default weather. 70 laps, 3 sets of tires, 2 overtimes. Track temp sitting at about 121 right now as we get ready to go racing at the Tricky Triangle here at the Pocono Raceway in Pennsylvania. As we come out of turn 3, we're going to come to the green flag as Ryan and Fuller, Dalton and Jose Gonzalez and J.P. Phillips, the top 5 as we come to the green. It's race 14 from Pocono, green. Our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You check them out online on Facebook and the iRacing forums at TrackCams22.com. As Ryan said, he was going to get a fight from Fuller, and just like that, Fuller is giving him that fight. Scott Simley is over here mowing the grass in turn 1. Not sure what happened here, but he's working his way back on track. No caution from what I see, but not a good start there for the 12 as Justin Fuller goes to the lead here through the tunnel turn for the first time. And look at these cars fan out 2-3 wide. Used to not be able to go side by side through the tunnel turn, and here these guys are going like that and even 3 wide through these corners. Down to turn 3 of the short chute here. 6 degrees of banking, which is set up like the old Milwaukee Mile, which, by the way, is the next race on the schedule for these guys next week. So get used to that turn 3 over there. As Fuller leads lap number 1. Everybody pretty tight together, drafting with each other. Complete lap number 2. As Fuller leads Ryan by 0.2 of a second. You see Phillip crossing the line there in the 4th position. Everybody single file. Pretty much the first battle is back here with Wesley Donaldson and WBD diecast cars. Chad Coleman and Wesley Donaldson. John Schweikert there behind him. And there's Kevin Brown, Mac McMillan, who's back in that orange and black, the Bully Dog Coffee number 88 car as they work their way up the up to the tunnel turn. And this track, as I mentioned, it's all about rhythm here. Talked to a couple drivers. They felt if you didn't get a caution early in this race, it could go for a little bit green. And I looked back at the numbers. The last 3 seasons, we've had 2 cautions, and 0 cautions, respectively. So there's a lot of green flag racing normally at this tricky triangle. Brian Wortman's had to jump the pit road. I know he's been having some health issues. Brian, hope you're doing okay, buddy. I was reading about what your situation was, so hopefully he's doing okay. He's had to pull off the track though a little early. Let's go back to the start really quickly and see what happened to Scott Simley. That was not the ideal start there for the 12 car. He's back here with Joey Jattina, who's fresh off a 500-mile race earlier today at Talladega. He had to run online. And let's see, Scott goes down into the corner. Oh, and he gets ran over. Is that Yoakum that got in the back of him? Maybe it's either Yoakum or Ryan. He's one of the 811 cars. But Simley obviously cutting the grass and getting through there. Probably not the ideal start, obviously, for the driver of the 12 as they come off turn 3, and Gonzalez putting some pressure on Tommy Ryan as Fuller leads here at lap 4. Check this battle out back here. Eric Arnold, Tyler Dalton. It's a battle for the 13th position here. You see the 30 right in front of them. Brian Macklin, the 91 of Wesley Donaldson. Stephen Miles up there in that 24 car, the Daytona winner. A lot of these cars right here just trying to draft and get whatever track position they can get. It's one of those tracks where you can pit under a green flag and stay on the lead lap if you can stay within a certain distance of these cars. You see back there, it's the 51 of Martel getting out of line a little bit himself. Everybody just trying to draft to each other right down on that yellow line. You got to avoid that bump that's in the middle of 1. That can cause you to go swerving up the track as Schweikert goes to make a move. Not sure if he was trying to be defensive there on a 24. But either way, Donaldson going to draft up there to the outside and try to get around Miles. Six laps complete already. You could go about 30 to 35 laps on a tank of fuel. So obviously that 35 number becomes prime because half of 70 is 35. So this could easily become a one-stop race if you're able to save enough fuel. Tire fall off is going to be very big. We already have lost close to a second on the track as the car way up the track there. That's the 31 of Eric Arnold. As others race here is Braxton DeWeese in that 5 car. He's working side by side with the 4 of Gillenwater, the 23 there of Charles Van Schaik. There's EJ O'Rourke. And hello, Bully Dog Coffee Company, sir. With Mitch, GG, and Chris DeWeese, and Doug Middendorf, and all the others watching on the stream here this evening. Appreciate you guys. So 8 laps in the books. Justin Fuller's led them all so far from the outside of the front row. Tommy Ryan there second, Jose Gonzalez. Then there's about a 1.7 second gap back to JP Phillips. Robert Friery there in the 5th position. Chad Coleman got a little bit of a battle on his hands with his teammate Kevin DeBrown as they go through the tunnel turn. Basically, that is the corner for those who don't have much knowledge of this Pocono track. That is where the tunnel goes into the opposite the infield and out of the track. So it's always been infamously known as the tunnel turn. Some of the worst crashes in racing have happened there in that tunnel turn. Bobby Allison, of course, at the end of his career, was there in that tunnel turn back in the late 80s. As check back here, Anthony Calantoni and Josh Parker, 2 cars that are kind of following each other through the field right now. Started in the back. Josh up to 26, Calantoni the 27th. An eye on those guys, especially if this race goes green throughout. They're going to probably need to try some kind of strategy here to get up to the front and be able to battle for a potential win or even a top 10 position tonight. Right now up to 26th and 27th, and with this being a fixed setup league, which means everybody runs the same exact setup, it becomes very tough out there because cars become equal, and it comes down to how you've taken care of your equipment and track position and stuff. McMillan up to the 9th position there, being trailed by Donaldson. You see in front that battle going on with Kevin DeBrown and Coleman, as Coleman's gone by Schweikert there for the 7th position. Good battles everywhere right now. Driving Kevin in the 93 car. Appreciate the viewers watching here this evening. You're having a good Sunday and ready for another week of work and so on and so forth. Just reminds me of the old term, if you're not excited to go to work tomorrow, if you're one of those, thank God it's Friday, oh God it's Monday, you might be in the wrong career. McMillan was under attack there from Wesley Donaldson, but he's got the draft in this outside lane. And he is going to probably clear the nub. 91's going to dive her in there and try to get this position. And here a little bit of a downshift from somebody. I think that was from Wesley. But unable to get that run and complete that pass. Check on Robert Friery as right behind him, John Schweikert getting the pass on Coleman. Going to try to get 2 for 1 here. He swings to the inside of Friery, who got a little tight off the corner. Very easy to do here. There's McMillan sending it in there on the 93. As Friery way up the track, should be able to carry that momentum off here. And good racing right here. As the top 5 have pretty much pulled away. Mike Kelly in the 2 car back there with Eric Arnold. Arnold was nearby where I was here this week. We almost had a chance to meet up, but unfortunately work got in the way a little bit this week for me. But that'd been an interesting conversation, he and I. Have a good time, and who knows? I mean, I've never met him, so that'd been kind of cool to do and talk to him about his iRacing stuff and whatnot. So I'm sure it won't be the last time he's nearby in town. So did Braxton win something already, Mr. Thomas S? Are you saying double down? What did Braxton win today? It's Coleman under attack now from Friery after making the pass. He and Schweikert have gone by the 77. Did he run the race earlier with Joey and them, that other league that I actually thought about running that race and decided not to. I ran the NIS, but if so, congratulations to him. That's cool. One car kind of falling back here at the start of this race. Tyler Dalton. This kind of shocks me. Running 15th right now. Dalton, believe it or not, it ran like an average, and I looked up the numbers of this really quickly earlier today. He ran an average of 1.4 in this race last season, which means he basically was not outside the top 5 in this race and went to victory lane leading 33 laps, and here he is already started 3rd and is 15th after 15 laps here. So interesting. I don't know if this is a fuel save call maybe, or if this is a just struggling right now with the car. Interesting to see, as here's Donaldson now under attack. Stephen Miles there behind him. Eric Arnold, Mike Kelly. I mean, it could simply be a momentum thing too. A lot of the draft goes into play here at a track like this. And see the train already getting started with Fuller and Ryan and those guys up front. You see Phillips was able to get to 3rd, by the way, getting around that 26 of Jose Gonzalez. So, well, we're 15 laps in. Let's step away, get a quick break in. We'll come back, get you more racing here from the Pocono Raceway at Sim500 in the NC811.org Xfinity Series.
This tree is going to look great here.
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
All right, 15 laps in as you watch this battle. Down the front straightaway here. These cars have been just in a pack. 2 and 3 wide as Braxton makes the move. Trying to get a buy one, get one here down to turn 1. I appreciate the viewers for joining us here tonight on the Captain Esports Network as we're in race number 14 of 20 in the regular season in the 2023 NCA11.org Xfinity Series. And then, of course, the playoffs get to us in just a few weeks. again, who can set themselves up for the push, the playoff push. As Justin Fuller's led all 18 laps here so far. And these guys just continue to be 3 wide. Is E.J. O'Rourke, Mike Kelly, and Tyler Dalton now 3 wide. All the way back here at 15th. These guys just going scrapping with each other here. Now, I did debut this, by the way, a couple Mondays. Oh, a couple cars scraping the wall there off turn 2. Very easy to do here. It was this time I debuted this a couple Monday nights ago. And I've got it kind of cleaned up and ready to kind of show off to see how much it is playing a role, especially in this car in particular, as we welcome in what I've called the Coleman cam. After Chad Coleman showed me this in a highlight video we were doing after the race. He's like, hey man, check this camera out. He showed me a tire on it. It's like, dude, I'm about to like make a camera out of that and make it actually happen. And let's use, matter of fact, let's go to Chad Coleman's car. Chad running in the 7th position tonight. For those who have never seen this, I welcome you to the Coleman cam. Is a view of the right front tire. And what you're going to see tonight, especially as these cars come to pit road, is the wear. He was showing me the cords on these tires and stuff, like on long runs and that kind of thing. So let's see as we get, 30, 35 laps or however long they go on tires. See how worn out this thing gets throughout the evening here at the Pocono Raceway as they go through the short chute, I believe, right now. It's kind of peeking out the side of the car there. But you'll be able to definitely see the different layers of that car tire as we go here. So big shout out to him for showing me that. It was, I forget whose car it was and what track it was, but after the race, I mean, you could just see the whole inner tire was cords, and I was like, that is like amazing to see on iRacing. As back here, Kelly continuing the battle. Bob Gillenwater, Jimmy Coleman joining this fight with Nelson Rivera, Doy Woods there. Now you see Josh Parker. He is caught up to this part of the field, up to 21st. As of right now, 22nd, I should say, up 10 spots. Cal and Tony not too far behind. As we are about to complete 20 laps here, all caution free so far in this race. Oh, and there's Fryery getting the outside wall. And these cars they're not as durable as those Cup cars are here on iRacing. You get some damage on the right side, it will just completely kill the car. As Deweese to the inside of Stephen Miles, the battle here for the 9th position. Like he was able to hold off Braxton there for a second. Or more than a second, about 2/10 back there with Braxton now. Here he comes into the corner. You can hear the cars who are shifting through certain parts of the track as Braxton gets a great run. Going to give a bump draft maybe to the 24, decides to swing inside and see if he can make the pass this time going into turn 1. And he will do so. So move Braxton up to the 9th position after starting in 22nd in this race. Had a rough qualifying effort, and Miles isn't letting him go yet either. Braxton's going to clear him finally into the corners. Now Schweikert and Macklin battle at it for 6th. Good close racing here amongst everybody. And first car coming to pit road, Robert Friery. I'm not sure if this is a scheduled pit stop or not. If so, this is pretty much Robert saying, yep, I'm going two stops on this, and comes to pit road at lap 22. So we'll have to keep track of Robert's progression here. Not sure if he's got a problem or if this is an actual scheduled stop for him. As we jump up here to the front, there's Fuller, who's led every lap here so far. Tommy Ryan and JP Phillips right there with him. And now caution comes out, as Glenn Campbell has turned backwards. And this is going to work out perfect for Friery. Yeah, it looks like he had damage, 24.8, so not sure what that's about. And not sure if he was able to... Yeah, it looks like he was able to get out of there on the lead lap still, so... That's a big break for that 77 car. But let's see what happened to the 44 here as he's battling with Randy Yoakum. Got the Dean machine there behind him in the 86 car, even though it's got a 2 on it. Come off the corner and oh. Let's crash cam this. Campbell's trying to clear the 8, and he just wasn't clear yet, and they just come together off the top side there. A tough break there for the 44 as the caution out for the first time. And we should see the leaders on pit road here, and this is going to definitely eliminate the one-stop strategy now of the field. As here come the leaders. I mean, this should be everybody. It looks like Arnold overshooting his pit stall back there in the 31. And race off pit road, going to go to Fuller, it looks like. Ryan going to be second, Gonzalez third, Phillips and McMillan your top 5. As we're just past the 1/3 mark. And appreciate the viewers joining us here this evening in chat. Obviously the start of great racing throughout the week. Of course, tonight here at Pocono for the Xfinity Series. The Cup Series tomorrow night for Sim500 goes to Talladega. I promise you no fuel mileage saving in that race tomorrow night. You can come join us for some wild Monday night racing there at Talladega for the Cup Series. We'll have league racing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday this week. So, some good stuff shaking up for us here in the near future on the Captain Esports Network. As we should get one to go this time by. One good thing about these big tracks is the cautions are very quick. A few years ago, they basically took out a lap of caution on these bigger tracks to almost made them quickie cautions so that we can get back to racing. We got a couple cars topping off the fuel cell now. I mentioned the 77 of Robert Friery. He did end up back in the 30th position here. I thought he would end up one of the lucky people here and would jump up to the top of the standings here for the race. But in the end, he's still going to be here in the 29th position. Not sure if he just wasn't able to get caught up or whatnot. But you can see he's got heavy right side damage from a smack in the wall. And I wonder if that's playing a role in this or whatever. But obviously that heavy damage on that 77. Not helping things right now. As we come to turn 3, pace truck going to pull off and back into the hands of the 55 of Fuller as he leads him to the green flag. And the drag race down to turn 1. Fuller trying to pull away a little bit from the side draft of Tommy Ryan as they work their way down to turn 1. Best chance for you to grab some track position right here as Macklin kind of scrapes the wall there. 51 gets tagged again, gets tagged a third time and goes spinning. Martell into the inside wall with Calantoni and Robert Friery involved in this one. Caution 2 on the track. And this comes out at lap number 27. Cautions breed cautions. Martell got hit by 3 different people back there. And finally, the third time was the charm. You see Yoakum getting a little out of shape right there. And right here, Simley comes down, noses to 51. Then he gets hit by Calantoni, then by Livingston. Then he gets spun. There's Calantoni and Friery. And unfortunately, a lot of damage on those cars. And the tricky part about this infield section right here where you see Martell's car sitting, there is a lot of drain covers. And I talked about this with like Charlotte and a couple other tracks. But if you go down here in the infield here of this part of the track, it almost feels like you're hitting holes over in that part of the track. And example here, watch the 84 Calantoni here as he and Livingston, or I'm sorry, Friery, go into the infield here. Watch how these cars just dip. Right, there's one, there's another, as they wreck, unfortunately, there. Second caution out. It's going to probably leave the leaders out here, I would think. So we'll take advantage of this and step away, get you another break. We'll come back and get you more racing here from Pocono to second yellow out in this Xfinity Series presented by NC811.org.
When do you plan on putting in that new fence we've been talking about since last summer?
I guess I could start tomorrow.
Protect the ones you love and protect your buried utilities by contacting 811 before you dig, either by phone, the web, or the NC811 app. Know what's below. Before you dig, visit NC811.org to learn more.
All right, back we are under caution. Lap number 28, Justin Fuller has led pretty much every lap in this race. Tommy Ryan there second. Jose Gonzalez having a great run in the third position. As caution comes out, got a lot of cars on pit road here, topping off the fuel cell from 24th on back. Miles and Simley and Holyfield as Brian Wortman getting a lucky dog and getting himself back within 2 laps of the field. get a driver we have not had a chance to. I'm trying to remember who I've talked to and who I haven't talked to in the time here. And I'm not sure I've talked to this 15 car. So let's get Alan up here. As Alan runs, unfortunately, back in 30th right now, but a lot of time to go here in this number 15 car. Alan, you got a copy, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, I don't know if I've had a chance to ever talk to you. And, you know, I was in one of those kind of moods where it's like, I want to make sure I take care of everybody. Obviously, 30th place right now. A lot of racing still to go. How are we feeling in the 15 car so far?
Not good here at Pocono. Put me on an oval track and I'd be all right. Pocono's my least favorite.
Wait a minute, is this not an oval? Well, I mean, it's a triangle, but is this not an oval?
I guess so. I just have a hard time remembering what turn I'm on. I end up braking too much or sending it in too hard, and Pocono is not fun.
I can understand that. Well, obviously, sometimes just getting a top 15 and getting out of here clean is good tonight, man. Well, I hope for the best, and hope you're able to keep that car clean for the next 40 laps, and this is turn 1 right here.
Yeah, 15 is all I'm hoping for.
There you go, man. Hey, best of luck. Appreciate talking to you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. At least he's honest. I can't discredit him for that one. As Alan Wild in the 15 car, we'll get him down to his channel where he was hanging out, which is that team there. It's the fun part is when I get to move you to channels, there's like 16 different channels I got to pick through here. You are in that. Here we go. Got him in his channel, so. Appreciate his time. So, and I can understand his frustration. Sometimes you just, and I'm like this on road courses, I'll get it to a road course like Le Mans or something, and especially as you get tired through a race, and you'll forget where you're at, and you'll go to brake and think you're at one corner and realize, oh wait, I'm here, and my braking point was about one sign back. And it, you know, for me at Le Mans, it's more of me yelling to the guys in front, look out, I'm coming. And I might hit you. Kind of like yelling forward in a game of golf. All right, bringing them through turn number 3 for the restart here, lap 31. Into the restart zone, Fuller launches. Everybody staying pretty much in line in the draft as they head down here to turn 1. Now those cars that just pitted, they're going to be interesting to watch because they're going to have to find a way to do about 40 laps of green, if it stays that way, on this tank of fuel. Not easy to do. As Gonzalez clips the apron, gets his car upset, here comes Schweiker to his inside. That's going to take a lot of fuel save on this track. Dalton trying to get himself back into the top 10 as Coleman slides up. Phillips is there with him, and Chad had to get out of it. What a run by Dalton off the top side, as he's going to pass 2 of them there through 1 and 2, or turn 1, I should say, as E.J. O'Rourke coming through in that 41 car, the 54 of Jimmy Coleman, no relation to Chad. Can anyone save enough fuel? Now I go back and look at the history of this race. This is the 5th race, or 6th race here at the Pocono Raceway for the Sunday night Xfinity Series, of course presented by 811. We've had 5 different winners in the 5 races. Now, what's kind of shocked me, there's a couple of stats that shocked me here when I was looking at this tonight. One, we never ran a race at the Legacy Pocono track in this series. There's an actual older version of Pocono on iRacing. This goes back to before the repave on the track, back about 10 years ago now, 10 or about 8 to 10 years ago, somewhere in that range. And of course they added this Pocono on, but the old Pocono of course had no inside walls. It had all the different things that the track had that were weird, if you will, back in the day. And of course they put the new version on here. But no races were ran on that surface in the Xfinity Series. Now it has been ran in other Sim500 series, just not this one in particular. But of course Tyler Dalton winning the race last season here at this track. And the who's who of drivers, you name them, they have been to victory lane here in the series. From Daniel Falkingham to Byron Daly, Pedro Mojica, and of course Tyler Dalton last season winning this race. But this race does not see a lot of cautions normally. We saw 2 last season, 2 the season before, 0 the year before that in 2021. And then there was 2 the season before that, starting to see a trend here. And then 5 the first season at this track. So that's the one thing that was different, was that 5. So we're at the point now, and of course we have seen the numbers go up this season on the yellows a tick. And that has kind of put a yellow flag out to the admins here. And owner Joey Gittino actually put out a bulletin this week to the drivers that they're going to start keeping track of penalties, and they're going to start parking people for wrecking too much in a race. So interesting to see how that comes out to play. But Josh Parker, by the way, the other winner back in 2018 here at this track. But the first year here, 5 cautions, and that was a 60-lap race. 3 the following year in 19, and we skipped in 20. 21 we raced here a caution-free event, and then 2 cautions in 22 and 23, and those races were 70 laps. So here we are at the halfway point, and we've got 2 cautions. So let's see how this transpires, because the reason why I bring that up is the fact of these guys that are trying to see if they can go the rest of the way on fuel. They're going to have to do a lot of work. All right, so caution obviously back at lap 25. And the cars came to pit road, and I think it's time as we get a little green flag run here going potentially. Let's go back to this pit stop, and I'm going to go to EJ O'Rourke. I'm just randomly picking a driver here. I didn't even see Eric Arnold spin. But let's jump into the car and on the tire here. And let's see what we got here. As EJ rolls into his stall. Make sure we're seeing this correctly. Don't see too much wear. Looking pretty good for the most part. Obviously, you can see it's not fresh. And watch as the tire changes here. Hey, actually didn't even see really anywhere at all. So, as he rolls off. So, right front looking pretty good on EJ's car. Let's back it up to the other cars on pit road here real quick. And let's start looking around at some of the tires here. You can see everybody's tires looking fairly well for the most part, which is definitely some good news, because we'll get to some tracks where there's a lot of wear out there, and it could be interesting. And look at this battle for the lead as Tommy Ryan has gone to the front, passing Fuller, and he gets loose in that dirty air, and here comes McMillan. Well, Tommy Ryan completes the pass here at lap 37. And the pole sitter back out on front, led 25 laps in this race last season, had to settle for a 7th place finish. I asked him earlier, I was like, do you remember if last year's race was, I didn't get a chance to look at it. I'm like, hey, do you remember if it was a pit strategy or something happened to you or whatever? He goes, I don't know. Typical Tommy. I was hoping somebody would remember last season's race, but nope, we didn't get a chance to see it. So Either way, Tommy looking to rebound and get that second straight Xfinity win. Of course, winning last week at Kansas, his first win in 3 years in this series. When I saw that, I about fell out of my chair. I was like, wait, what? And we got cars ducking off and coming to pit road. Mike Kelly, Charles Van Schaik. They are going to, I think, pit this car backwards. And what I mean by that is basically they're going to pit here and not go, they're going to go the rest of the way on these tires right here to the finish and try to take advantage of track position with a little bit of an undercut. So 4 tires in field, they'll stay on the lead lap because you see the leaders are just into the tunnel turn. You look over here, you see the 2 leaving pit road right now. And his teammate there just coming out of into turn 1 now out of the pits. Here's the leaders over here in turn 3. As they'll come up on the lap car of Anthony Calantoni. Just to show you where everybody is relative on the track. P. Phillips was running up in the top 5 earlier in this race. P3. Unfortunately, he's fallen back to 11th now in that 20 car. So I want to share a couple of stories real quickly while we're under green flag. As I've stated a few times now, I'm located now in the Fort Wayne, Indiana area after living down in the Georgia area for 5 years previously. And being here, I've got to learn a lot of things. And 2 of the coolest things that I've had to learn, and it actually has to do with video gaming, is one, it has the largest pinball gaming place in the state of Indiana here. And I actually went to it last Saturday. A friend of mine took me, I guess it was kind of a late birthday, kind of fun day, whatever, on a Saturday after work. And I kid you not, I'm not a pinball guy. Like, I hardly play. And there was 145 pinball games for me to choose from. There was one from like 1930 something that was sitting there. They had new ones out there. Name a music band, they had one for it. I remember I was playing Metallica one, a Beatles one, just having fun. And I thought it was really cool. But the other cool thing I saw this week is they just opened up a virtual reality gaming place here that I thought was really cool. And, I'm going to see if I can get in there and tour the place. And if you get a chance coming to town here, I would definitely suggest those places to you. As McMillan passing Macklin for 3rd. Or at least trying to hold him off here in that Bully Dog Coffee Company car. Say that 3 times fast. Apparently it's like over 200 games or whatever you use VR and play. And of course I know I've been one that's been kind of against VR when it comes to iRacing. Otherwise, have fun with it. I think VR is awesome. Just don't like it on iRacing. And that's, you know, a debate I've had with many people many a times. And my reason behind it, for those curious, is because when you're on VR and you're racing 37 other guys like you are tonight, you kind of have control of everybody else around you in your VR set. And what I mean by that is if you wreck or your VR set all of a sudden dies or it just goes bad and just quits working, unless you have a way to switch over to your screens really quickly, you are now have no clue where you are on the track, and now you have cars and others coming at you at full speed. As Calantoni's going to bring his car to the garage. And unfortunately, when you have a series like this that has 0 resets in it, you kind of put others in a box to where if you wreck them because of your equipment going bad, it's on you now. Where obviously other games like American Truck Simulator or you know, something like that, you don't really have as much responsibility, I guess would be another word to use. in that situation here, like you do here in iRacing. So I've always been kind of like, okay, nah, I wouldn't use VR here. But outside of here, absolutely. If I had a chance or had enough money to get some, yeah, I'd do it. Eric Arnold, Randy Yoakum coming to pit road. And I'm okay for people to be totally disagreeing with me on that. I mean, everybody's got their opinion, and that's just mine. I just have always had, if you have a good enough internet, a good enough computer, and your monitors are right here in front of you, you have everything working for you right in front of you. Where VR, it takes one charge not working, or something happening to a cord, or a signal issue, and you lose everything. Great racing here, 44 laps complete here. Tommy Ryan now 0.4 of a second up on Justin Fuller. Braxton DeWeese has come up from 22nd to 3rd. And two cars that continue to battle here as we watch the 26 of Jose Gonzalez, who started up in the front and has stayed up there most of the night. John Schweiker, and here comes Tyler Dalton back into play. We mentioned Dalton had fallen back in that first stage of the race, and you wonder if there was some fuel save involved there. Shout out to Josh Parker. How about this guy here in this blank number 81 car? This guy here started tailgate Charlie, as he always does. And with the advantage of the two cautions, now up to the 13th position here, as Kevin DeBrown comes to pit road now at lap 45. So about 25 laps to go. We'll pull up the track map again so you can see where everybody's kind of at now. So you look down here in the bottom on the front straightaway. There's where Mike Kelly and Charles Van Schuyt, teammates right there. And where they've pitted from. Behind here you see the 14 car. There's Joey Jatina. The 8 of Randy Yoakum right here. And then you see the 3 of Jeff Ryan. Here's the leaders of Tommy and the field now into turn 3 over here to the left of the map. Kevin DeBrown looks like a 2-tire stop. 10.3 for him as he rolls away. I don't think that would be fuel only, but I've been wrong before. Mac McMillan going to come to pit road. 24 laps to go. Wesley Donaldson, John Schweikert. And this is basically guys splitting this race into threes. Pitted at lap 24 at the caution. Now we're at lap 45 to 46, which is 24 to go. And bring them all to pit road here as McMillan 4 tires and what is it, 18.7, I think, if I remember correctly, we'll call gallons of coffee beans in the car. I will not do any coffee jokes for everybody's respect tonight. So 14-9, 15-1, and 14-7 respectively for those guys. So is this going to be when the cycle starts? Here comes Macklin hanging a left. JP Phillips going to hang a left. As looks like O'Rourke. It's a terrible run off of 3. There are a couple of guys that I am watching very closely that pitted at lap 29 before the restart happened. Those are the guys I'm watching right now as we got a battle for the lead. Here comes Braxton. A turn 2 slider. Well, that's a new one. He gets the wall as he tried to pull a slider on Tommy Ryan. So let's say a tunnel turn slider. Ooh, that actually sounds like a sandwich you get at a concession stand at Pocono Raceway. Here's an idea for you. The tunnel turn slider. What would you do? Maybe a Philly cheesesteak on a slider? That'd be interesting. as Tyler Dalton, Josh Parker, EJ O'Rourke just come up with a food idea for the raceway. Fuller coming back into play now, as Braxton's going to clear on the top side and get the lead. So Braxton Deweese all the way from 22nd to the top spot here, as he was able to get past Fuller and now past Tommy, looking for that first win. He's getting frustrated. He's been wanting to get that win and hasn't been able to pull it off. That sounds like a you problem there, AT. Just saying. So it looks like 4 tires and fuel for all these cars. Bob Gillenwater, Jimmy Coleman, as these guys continue to stay out. All right, so field shuffling around a little bit here as Gonzalez and Coleman come to pit road here. Let me pull up the pit board here for a second, because this is where it's going to get interesting. I'm going to put up 10 rows here real quickly. And, oh, no, my caution is out. Joey Jatina, caution. Oh, big wreck, and Bob Gillenwater just clobbered Joey. Randy Yoakum involved also. Caution out here, 21 laps to go. Yikes. Let's see what happened here. There's Jatina. Oh, and Macklin goes to the inside of him. And Joey goes into the wall hard. Clips Yoakum, who hits the wall hard. And then Bob Gillenwater's going to come in here and oh! And we saw something similar to this in a Wednesday night league in this car, where somebody made that late move to the inside. But at the same time here, Joey kind of apexed the corner, so it's very tough. Who do you call this on? And this last look with Bob. Hello. Let's crash cam this. I don't know if you can call that a racing incident. You call that a crash, though. Oof, that's a lick. And this is going to mix up the field a lot. Bob had just come off pit road, just trying to get himself up to speed. Bob's trying to slow down, and that car's just sending it. And this is going to shuffle a lot of people as here we go with the pit stops. Those that have not pitted are coming to pit road here. And the ones that are going to stay out are the ones that came to pit road during the green flag run. And I'll go ahead and mention it now. The 2 drivers I was watching to see if they'd make it on fuel, Scott Simley in the 12 and Stephen Miles in the 24 had pitted at lap 49, or I'm sorry, at 29. And we're trying to go 30, or make that 40 laps to the green. And I'm curious to know if they would have made it. All right. So caution out. We're going to reset the field, but first we are going to go pay some more bills. Come back and get you to the finish. 18 laps to go next time by here at Sim500 and the NC811.org Xfinity Series from Pocono.
What a nice day to install my new mailbox.
Hi there, friend. I'm Dig Safely Man. My job is to ensure you call 811 before you dig.
Why do I need to do that?
Vital utilities like natural gas and electric run just beneath the Earth's surface. Damaging them can cause service interruption, environmental hazards, or personal injury.
I thought only contractors had to call before they dig, so homeowners do too.
Call 3 business days before you dig unless you have X-ray vision. Visit nc811.org to learn more.
All right, back we are here at Pocono. As we set up everything here. Coming to 18 laps to go. Going to get 1 to go before the green flag. Eric Arnold is going to be the leader of this race. He pitted at lap number 43 and has been able to jump everybody, kind of an undercut move, and leads this race. Mac McMillan is now second in the 88. Brian Macklin third. Wesley Donaldson, Kevin DeBrown, your top 5. All of the top 16 cars pitted during the green flag run and stayed on the lead lap. Here's that whole Pocono thing where you stay on the lead lap when you pit. The first car to pit here under the caution is Tommy Ryan, all the way back here in the 17th position. Justin Fuller will be 18th. Braxton DeWeese 19th. Doy Woods 20th. Rivera, Dean, Miles, Simley, and Alan Wild, your top 25. The question, how can these guys hold off the newer tires that are coming through here? Now, yes, they've pitted some 4, 5, 6 laps before 51. You think that's not so much? On iRacing, that is a ton. That is, let's see, what's 4 and 2, that's 10 miles right there. So you're looking at 15 miles on these tires. So those cars coming from 17th are going to have a chance here. What we got to watch for now is the yellows. If more yellows start breaking out here, then this goes to the advantage of the cars that pitted in the green flag run here. So a lot is going to take place here. We shall see as we come to the green flag, and let's let you guys enjoy it. Get your volume speakers, max it out if you will. I'm going to shut up and let you guys enjoy a little moment. Let's turn it up here on the Captain Esports Network. Look at this battle. Mac McMillan to the lead as he passes Eric Arnold. I was watching that during the whole Turn It Up segment there. As McMillan to the lead. Macklin going to go to second. Here comes Wesley Donaldson for third. And for those who are not able to see the battle in the back, with the fresh tires, a lot happened on that restart. I'm going to take you back here in just a second to show you. But Tommy Ryan, unfortunately, had some issues on that restart. And it all started with the 26 of Jose Gonzalez getting loose in turn 1. As here comes E.J. O'Rourke. They're going 3 wide. They're going to try 4 wide. As here comes Parker. Wesley Donaldson, here comes your 3. There's almost your 4. Who's going to send it in here? Easy, boys. There's the contact. Little hip checks. I'll show you in a second once we get through this mess. Here comes Jimmy Coleman. Putting on a show tonight. All right, here we go. Let's go back to the restart. And let's watch the 99 of Tommy Ryan back here. Let's go crash cam because it's going to kind of show everything that happens here. See that orange car, 2 cars up in front. That is Jose Gonzalez. You're going to watch him go in this corner. He's going to get loose. And for a second, I thought they were going to wad it up. Right here. Not sure if he had help or not there, but he gets loose and look at this, all of a sudden 3, almost 4 wide, and then Braxton gets in the back to Tommy as everybody's just trying to catch their car and everybody's scrambling. Here comes Mike Kelly. Hey, let's go 5 wide down to turn 2, shall we? And we're still, well, let's go 3 wide through the tunnel turn. You know, so let's go double. So that shuffled all that up back there. And now here comes McMillan under attack as Macklin goes for the lead. And don't look back. Fuller's up to 5th on the new tires. Ooh, contact! Leaning on each other. I mean, look out! You can't stick a paper in there almost. McMillan trying to hold him up against the wall. Yikes! There's a little net code. Oh, and along goes Macklin. Ah, jeez. Hey, there's some promotion for you. Parker up to 3rd back there. You see Fuller battling with the 91, Wesley Donaldson. I just want these guys to keep racing. I'm a little scared, to be honest with you. Oh. Macklin to the front. They're getting ever so close to each other. Fantastic stuff. By the way, Fuller's up to 3rd now. Can he get to these 2? McMillan with a big run through the tunnel. to turn 3. McMillan. And to be able to use the whole track up to get off 3 there. Very tough to make a pass. Appreciate all the viewers watching here this evening. The Captain Esports Network and the Sim500 NCA11.org Xfinity Series. Each and every Sunday night, as always. Good turnout of people, good talent, turnout of racers. I appreciate all the viewers for watching this evening. Come back tomorrow night for racing at Talladega as they're getting close. Fuller's getting there. Jaws music. I'm hearing it. Fuller with that big run up the middle there. Center off. You can see how he just was able to get that car to rotate. Now to the inside of McMillan for second. Oh, all 3 of them hit the wall. Macklin's car might have broke. Looks like he's okay, but he's going to lose a lot of track position as the battle for the lead. As Kevin Brown comes to pit road for some reason. Does this open the door for Josh Parker? As Fuller clears the lead. This is one of the better Pocono races I've seen yet in any series. Parker going to get by McMillan for second. You wonder if Mack has worn his tires out. 6 to go. Fuller up 0.6 of a second right now. Just got to hit your marks. Not make a mistake. Plenty of chances to do so. Now, if you're Fuller, just take your marks literally because, oh, and caution. As John Schweikert has gone around in the 1. Oh, that's going to flip this race again. What happened to the 1? As he's back here battling with LaRue, or I'm sorry, with Kelly and Eric Arnold, part of the LaRue team, is the 1. The old slide up in turn 2, whips it around and whips it back around and does a great job locking it down. Everybody else, great job missing him. It's one of those, again, when you're in a track like this, you got to try to use as much as you can up the track. Otherwise, you lose your momentum. And I think that's what Schweiker tried to do here, and unfortunately he had to use up Eric Arnold's left side to get it to happen. All right, so what do you do here? Do you pit for tires? Still got the overtimes. There's 2 of them. This will likely not be one of them. We're going to split this in half. I see Parker, Coleman, Braxton Dewey stays out. Dalton stays out. I'm seeing at least 8 or 9 cars staying out here. Y'all got some popcorn? Can I borrow some, please? Anybody got any popcorn for me? All right, let's talk to some people here and see what we're thinking as we have 3 laps to go. Josh, you got a copy?
Oh, we got copies.
All right, buddy. as this gets interesting now, my friend.
I'm a damn copy machine.
Okay. Well, here we are at Pocono. You started in the back, as usual. You worked your up through the field, as usual. And now you're up here in the lead. You got about, counting 12 cars between you and, well, 11 cars between you and Fuller.
I don't think it's Fuller we're worried about. Well, it might be. Kevin DeBrown actually pitted right before that yellow came out, so he's the first on tires.
So 11 then.
Yeah, well, that's better. I thought there was less. I think I'm a sitting duck. I think I can hold off the guys that are behind me on the same amount of that same tires, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully this gets into overtime and we run out of overtimes. They wreck before it even matters, but I think that might be my only hope. I don't know. It would be close.
So the guys that pitted, you pitted at 48. You got Coleman behind you 1 lap later. Then you've got everybody but Arnold pretty much pitted either with you or 3 laps later, the rest of the way down to Kevin. Those guys that pitted 3 laps later, can you hold them off?
Yeah, I think the tires, with the couple yellows we had, the Psycho kind of evened that back out,
Okay.
and then they were in, a little bit further back in Arrow, so I think they're right fronts. I think that's, I think I'm even there, especially we're shifting now, so that kind of helps out. But like I said, I think I can keep these guys behind me. I'm just more worried about where the first tires are.
Yeah. Well, it looks like 11th. So that's where I'm seeing Kevin DeBrown at. So.
Well, I have a feeling I'm either going to talk to you for top 3 or I'm going to be absolutely wrecked.
Well, I'm hoping for the first for your sake, but it's going to be entertaining either way. So good luck to you. I'm going to sit up here and just have fun.
Thank you.
Josh Parker leading the race. He feels, I think, pretty confident there, as per usual, Josh Parker. Let's get him down to his team name channel. What I didn't want to say, because I don't want to sound biased here, with him in the channel. He's out of the channel now, and I'll say this. I've taken the outside lane if I was him. Because not that you have to worry that the 11th place car back here, that white and black Kevin DeBrown car, is your first car, but he's in the inside lane. And if you switch with him and Chad Coleman, you get to restart the race, but you're putting another car in that inside lane to keep him from getting up there with fresh tires. That's just me, but again, I've only won like a couple races. All right. So, this is actually not a green-white checker. As we're coming to lap 68, it'll be exactly 2 laps to go as we come to the restart here at Pocono. As Josh Parker leads them to the green flag. And you're about to watch a mess going into turn 1. I see 3. I see 4. I see 2 rows of 4. I see 5. I see contact. I see a slide. Everybody going everywhere. And there's the caution. It's back here. There goes Schweikert into the wall. And the 12 and Scott Simley goes around. I knew that was going to be wild going into that turn. We have now tied, by the way, the Pocono record with 5 cautions. There's EJ going for the old slide. Nice catch on his play. He's still trying to catch it. There's the 91 getting turned, and then Dean gets in the back of the 12, and then the 21 gets in it. Tommy Ryan scrapes up the wall. Watch up here. You're going to see Wesley turn sideways. You're going to see EJ right here with contact with the, it's Joe Hudson. And then right here, you're going to see Dean roll back to the throttle. And I don't think he realized they were all trying to catch the car in front of him. And turns to 12. Well then. Now we're going to overtime. Tires got up to the 9th position that time. They gained a couple of spots. What do you guys think here? I know a lot of Braxton fans are in here, and I understand that, so I know where you guys are at with this. Is this a Parker race to lose? Do we see... I mean, let's put this up. Parker thinks the tires are going to even out amongst the crew that's up there with him, which is possible. So let's pull this little screen up here and show you this. So as you see, 48, 49, 51, 48, and then Mike Kelly at 51. So everybody's right there with Parker, but on this 2.5 mile track, obviously, you know, does it even out the tires amongst these guys? The first guy on the newer tires, as he mentioned, is back here now at 9th. So I think with the way that the persistency that the racing has been of late, where you get these late cautions, and it's been playing a role in overtime. We've seen a lot of that lately here. I think that pitting wasn't the right call there, but I'm not going to second guess what they decided on, because, you know, if they didn't pit, others are pitting that, you know, are still out here. So you kind of like do the opposite of what the leader does type of thing. So I think it's kind of bleep in one hand, what you want in the other, which one you getting first. All right. Should get one to go this time by. We're going to overtime. We'll get 2 chances at this. Josh Parker trying to get his 10th win in Sunday night's racing. Here correctly. His last win actually coming over a year ago, in March of 2022 at the Phoenix Raceway. was the last Josh Parker win on Sunday, so he's trying to break a streak of a little over 2 years now since he had last gone to victory lane on Sunday night. Of course, he's got Chad Coleman there, the Iron Man to his right. Most starts in series history. Man owns a lot of records. I'd like to add to that tally here this evening. Braxton DeWeese looking to get that record started for him. He's come so close to that first career win. Here he is in the third position. And then here's Tyler Dalton. Last season's winner. Had a little bit of a struggle earlier in this race. Now sits up P4. Mike Kelly, who, I mean, do we call him like the highway robbery man or something? The man steals wins all the time from people. That it's like, how did he get there and get the win? Here he is in fifth. So good Lord, we might see it again here. With 2 laps to go, we go green into overtime. Good start for Parker. There you see Fuller, topside, 3 wide, down the back stretch and along Pond straightaway. Can they get back to the white flag as DeWeese tries to get second from Coleman? Dalton sliding up the track. Here comes Kelly. Here comes Miles. Here comes Fuller. They're trying to get off turn 3 as they hit. They collide. Everybody straight still. They're wrecking. Did they get to the white? They did. White flag is out. I saw them wrecking over off turn 3. Braxton is there. As one car tail whips. I think that was Rivera. To the bottom. Here comes the 5. Slide job off 2. He cleared him. Here comes Fuller with tires. As they're wrecking again. Fuller's in the grass. Did we just see a pass in the grass? What am I watching? Here comes Kevin DeBrown. As they drag race, and Justin Fuller has come out of nowhere to win this thing. This is by far the wildest Pocono race I have ever seen. I was going to say he's going to get disqualified going backwards. What in the world? Anyone as shocked as I am right now? I mean, I'm speechless over here. I mean, there's cars destroyed everywhere. I'm just trying to find the white flag lap, let alone heck, let's just watch. No, that'd be 2 minutes long. Let's get to the white flag here. Because they wreck coming off of turn 3. All right, let me get the stop. Back to the video. Okay, so all right, here we go. Let's slow-mo this for a second because there's going to be people. Okay, look back here. Somebody back there sideways. And I thought I saw more smoke as they crossed the line to get to the white flag. Hi, Randy Oakham. Hello to the others. Okay, there's Van Schaik into the wall. All right, somehow I guess they kept it straight. All right. Let's speed it back up. So they're 5-1. I mean, they hit each other coming off turn 3 here, and they're like sandwiching each other in the wall right here. I mean, everybody's wrecking. I mean, Fuller is literally squeezed into the wall right here. They go to turn 1. Dalton gets loose, spins, hits the wall. And we keep going. Then they come off turn 1. Nelson Rivera with a tank slapper. He's trying to hold on. He catches it. And then all of a sudden here, Braxton sends it into turn 2. And I think Parker gets out of the gas, so does Braxton. And it gives Coleman and Fuller this big run. And there goes Kelly getting turned. And then mayhem breaks out here. And then Fuller's all of a sudden passing. I think we literally had to pass in the grass finally. Let's I don't. We're gonna watch the battle for the lead now. Yeah, that's what I'm getting to here. So, there goes Kelly. I mean, Fuller sends it in there into the grass. They make contact. There's Parker getting hit. I mean, let me give us a better vision of this. Hang on. Let's go. Hit the stop button. Limp. Let's probably give us our best view right here. I mean, I'm sure Braxton's going to feel like he just sent a bomb in there. And I don't think Braxton was happy with that move, just seeing that. And, oh, Coleman with a lick. I mean, they wrecked everywhere in that lap. All right, let's... Just looking down in chat right now, I'm seeing... I think there's some arguing going on, potentially. But anyways, things destroyed over there. Let's show the finishing order of the race. As Parker wins, it says Parker's going to be winning, but Fuller gets the win. He got disqualified going backwards up the track. Parker second, so this is all unofficial. Deweese, Kevin Brown, Donaldson, Coleman, O'Rourke, Coleman, Phillips, Macklin, McMillan, Doywood, Stephen Miles, Gonzalez, Ryan, Rivera, and this will all get sorted out after the race. Well, the thing is, Aaron, you don't know until I do the interviews here. I really don't know if that's him being unhappy type thing, or if that's just a hey, good win. You just see all that kind of stuff in the series, but I mean, we can always assume. Let's see. Where did they leave off? Wild, Arnold, Dalton ends up 18th. Dean 22nd. As you look through the field here, Fuller shows him 31st there. He'll obviously go to the lead. And what a race that was. Oh, man. Breaks the record of cautions, unfortunately, in this race. But the finish, I mean, I'm going to argue that was one of the craziest finishes I've seen yet. As... Well, I guess we'll talk to Josh since he's here. I look over and
Sorry,
I look at my channel and Josh is over here with me. I'm like, all right, hey, Josh.
I was a little impatient down there.
It happened. Is there some stuff going on down there?
I mean, I was just talking to Fuller, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. I figured I'd ask you. But, hey, you finished second here tonight, man. Obviously, those last couple laps were absolutely nuts. Talk us through what you saw there. Obviously, Braxton makes the move to you on the inside there. From what you saw there, give me your shot and what you saw.
Yeah. Braxton had a little bit fresher tires than me, so I knew once he got past Chad, it was going to be tough to hold him off. I was actually shocked at that how much the tires were better, but yeah, I saw Fuller come, and I knew my best chance was to let Fuller go and see if what happened in turn 3 did happen. But I just needed them to both like flip it in the grandstands. But yeah, so I knew something like that was going to happen. I mean, we all would we could like 20 lap fresher tires at Pocono last turn. We all probably would have done something like that. So yeah, I was just happy to somehow get second.
Yeah, obviously a crazy race, and I had not noticed until I literally went and looked as I was setting up the finish of the race. There, you had not won a race in over 2 years now in this on Sundays.
No way.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Really?
Yeah, I was stunned. I was like, wait, what? Phoenix in 2022 when you and Daniel had your little beating of each other off the back straightaway.
Wow, that's actually gonna kind of piss me off. I might have to qualify.
Sorry.
Wow, that's shocking. I know last season I didn't have that good of a year on Sundays. I didn't run much though.
Feel free to
And then
fact check me because you know I'm not perfect.
no, you might be right because I didn't run too much last year, I don't think. And then on Sundays at least. And then this year I haven't run much either. But I've been starting in the back, and I don't make as gutsy of pit calls on here than I do on Monday to get the
Right.
track position. I kind of just, every time there's a yellow, I'll just, if I'm past 20th, I'll just pit and get tires every time. Like, I don't know. But now that you told me that, I might have to change my strategy up a little bit because I don't, I do know I haven't won in a while. Not a while, but it's been 6 to 7 weeks. It might not sound like a lot, but that's a lot to me.
When you got the talent that you do, and I give you credit, I can understand that being a while. But man, needless to say, great effort tonight. Obviously, great strategy call, working from the back to the front, and send some shout outs whoever you like to.
Yeah, you doing the broadcast, man. You keep it entertaining. Just solo, so that's impressive. Joey, everyone over here at Sim500, Wesley Donaldson for sponsoring me on Mondays. Everyone at Team Name, Chad, Comstock, Kevin, Beasley, Doy, all those guys.
Yeah, in fairness, you keep me on my feet with stuff like that.
Well, I didn't do anything today. Fuller
You
was,
said it.
Yeah, I didn't. I was boring today.
Oh, come on now.
I did go. I went 4 wide, 3 wide on EJ for no reason at one point. I think
There's a
it
couple
was
5
EJ.
wides you'll see tonight. They're like, whoa.
But I mean, I didn't make the pass. Like, it was just
Right.
It was one of those things for the broadcast. Like, I wasn't. I went down to turn 1. It was like, oh, that was a bluff. I just backed out of it.
I got the poker face. Got it.
That's right.
All right, buddy. Good job, man.
Yeah.
You too. As Josh Parker finishing in the second position tonight, as he was here in chat, so I'm very just go ahead and do the interview with him. As probably it'd be good to do here because now we've got the two guys that obviously had the seat in the house here, needless to say, for the finish of that race. Braxton, unfortunately, on the rough end of it. When it's all over with, man, you make the move into turn 2, and you clear Parker, and all of a sudden here comes the tires behind you. Obviously, let me just get your thoughts. What would you see there? Obviously, finishing third in this race.
To start with, qualifying 22nd, I did not really have too much confidence going into this race, but we picked them off there, and after the first long run, we got up inside the top 10 to around 9th or 10th. So, that raised the confidence a little bit, and that I was looking forward to the next run. And at the end of that run, I caught them and got the lead there, and then the caution came out before we were going to pit. So that was a little unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to go through with that again and kind of get some redemption from last week of the pitting and the strategy, but that happened. And then when we came out, we were all like 17th, 18th and stuff, and I was like, well, this ain't good. So me and Tommy were on the bottom, and we kind of got screwed on the bottom there at the restart, and I had to rally back from like 21st or 23rd, something like that, and came back and ended up staying out. Saw some people behind me a good amount that I thought was good enough to stay out, so I kind of winged it and went with it. And we like you said, we had that run and made that move into turn 2. I got a little tight there for sure, and used Josh up there. I kind of just committed with it and said, you know what, I've been finishing third and second too many times, so I figured I'd try to do what I can and not put both of us in the wall, but just try to take the corner away and after I cleared him, I was like, all right. And then I looked in the mirror and I seen Justin coming. So I was like, okay, here we go again. So figured I'd go down to 3 and, you know, pinch him down, of course, to around the lane. So, I mean, I felt like that was the best shot I really had of anything just because of the fresh tires he had. And he sent it in there pretty good. And we made contact. And then he was able to get in front. And the fresh tires, he was able to grip back up and ultimately come out with the win. And Josh came around me. So, crazy last lap, but you know, it is what it is. Just hopefully one of these can go our way sometime, and we can be in victory lane.
I would assume being on the losing end of that. I mean, I hear how you're kind of keeping it, you know, just explaining what happened there, but I can only assume the frustration probably after this.
And it is what it is. I'm not going to sweat it too much. Just going to move on to next week and, you know, see if we can be a couple spots better and, you know, finally get that win.
Fair enough. Great job, man. Obviously still a great run, and you got that points lead, and you're still able to pull away here a little bit, it looks like, after tonight. So send a shout whoever you like to.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out to Booth 34 Diecast on the car. Hopefully we can get them their first win. I haven't got them a win at all on any of the cars that I've ran, so hopefully we can get them that first win. He's actually in the antique village in Mooresville, pretty close to downtown. He's got a booth there of all kinds of NASCAR stuff, not just diecast, and he has a wide selection of a lot of like winner circle and, you know, action stuff, the good stuff from back then. You know, the little 164th car with rubber tires, you know, all the good stuff. So if you're ever in that area for the Charlotte race or just in Mooresville in general, go check it out and give him a holler. Say you saw him for my car. So, you know, that'll be pretty cool, and that helps both of us out. So big shout out to him, and also shout out to Interstate Ford, Bennett's Publical, James on Main, Allen's Arts Images, Unraveled Photography, Blaze Designs, and Bully Dog Coffee Company. He usually tunes in for these races. This is how we got the sponsorship with him. So if you visit www.bullydogcoffeecompany.com, you can use Brax5 for the 10% off when you go to checkout and when you buy your coffee. So I appreciate him, and I appreciate y'all for broadcasting stuff. It's going to be a pretty good race to go back and watch. And, you know, ultimately we didn't get the win. It's going to be frustrating not to see we get the win, but, you know, it is what it is. We knew we still had the speed, so we'll move on next week and, you know, see if we can be a couple spots better, like I said.
I will say this. Yes, you might have been on the rough end of the stick here for this one tonight, but this is definitely probably the top Pocono race I've ever called, period. So enjoy that part. So absolutely, man. Great job tonight.
I appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Braxton Deweese finishing in the third position tonight. More credit to him. I don't know how I'd be feeling right now. But I know how I'd be feeling if I was Justin Fuller, and that's pretty stoked, I would think, after what just transpired there. Obviously, that caution comes out and it goes to overtime. I'm sitting there like, okay, this might have just hurt the guys with tires. And somehow it all worked out, and Braxton pulls that slider on Parker off of 2, and here comes the train called Fuller, and I can only imagine what's going through your mind at this point.
Yeah, I mean, first off, it sucks that we even got in that position. That was such a great race. We had a lot of strategy going on, and just can't ever seem to get the end of these races to finish out green. We always have a late race yellow, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I knew how much the tires meant when I was able to just mow through the field. And they only had a couple of older tires from pitting under green when I drove from 18th up to the lead. So I knew tires were going to be big, especially with how worn out their tires were at that point. So I just had to go where they weren't, basically. So that's why I stuck it up top and kind of caught a couple guys off guard, being 3 wide top on exit there, made some contact. But ultimately, to be able to squeak out and just come away with the win was pretty special. That was a lot of fun for me.
I was going to say the more impressive part to me isn't the putting your left sides in the grass to make the pass on the 5 or the impressive part to me was coming off of turn 3 to take the white. You guys were 4 wide. You and Dalton end up squeezed into the wall, which you're going down the longest straightaway at Pocono. So your momentum is dead at that point. So you're back in like, what, 6th at that point, I think it is. You go to turn 1, you do what you do there. You get to turn 2, you're behind Coleman, who knocks the wall down. You get around him, you get past Parker, who had the slider pulled on him, and somehow able to, from that point where you get squeezed into the wall, make up the time needed to get to the win.
I mean, their tires were just so worn out. I got to the outside of Tyler in turn 3 And it was late, so I'm not mad at anybody for that. It's racing, it happens. I
Right.
got put in the wall there. Mike kind of squeezed Tyler up. He had no idea. Tyler was telling him on the radio, but it was too late at that point. So I knew contact was happening. I thought we were going to wreck right there. So
You tried.
momentum was pretty much killed, yeah. And I had no idea we were 4 wide going into turn 1, but I drove it in really deep. And when Tyler lifted, when I lifted, I thought for sure we were going to wreck again.
Yeah, because he clipped you in the rear. I didn't even think about that. He tagged you in the left rear, right?
I thought we were going to wreck, and ultimately he wrecked from hitting my door. I didn't know we were 4 wide. I knew we were 3. I had no idea we were 4 at the time. So I still think there was plenty of room for 4. I think Tyler just might have drove in a little too deep, but it's the last lap. You're trying to get everything you can get. So I got a little sideways from that, but it actually kind of helped me a little bit because I was so far up the track. I dropped a gear in Florida and got a really good straight exit out the corner and had a huge run on Chad. And well, no, he was ahead of me going into the tunnel. It was Kevin DeBrown on the inside. I had a huge run on him, so I cleared him. And once I saw Braxton make a move for the lead right before the tunnel turn, and I knew I had a chance at that point because their momentum was going to be killed because I knew Josh wasn't just going to let him go.
Right.
So I knew they were going to be side by side in the corner, and ultimately they lost a lot of momentum, and I got by 2 of them. And then Braxton, I mean, he's trying to win his first race. I get it. He drove it in there pretty deep, and he turned in pretty late or pretty early. I don't know really how you word that, but I was already there, and we made contact, and it put me on the grass. So I wasn't going to be denied, that's for sure. I was doing everything I could to get back to the lead there after dominating the race. So ultimately, driving through the field twice was a lot of fun, and I don't save many replays, but I saved that one. So I can go back and watch it.
I sure would. I was, and the one thing about this iRacing at Pocono, it's like 1 lap older tires is a difference. Like at this track, it's almost a little overpowering, if you will, because you go watch, an Xfinity race in real life here, and it's not that big of a difference on 1 lap tires, but here it seems like just 1 lap, and obviously multiply that by the 5-6 laps you had, I think, on the field there, and then even 2 laps on Kevin, and the other guys. It's just amazing how much of a difference that made. It's literally 10 miles.
Yeah. In real life, 1 lap doesn't matter on tires either. So, or it doesn't matter anywhere at all.
Right.
So, normally anyway, but here, yeah, it does make a big difference. It's just because it's such a unique racetrack, and you got 3 corners, so it's just that much more stress on the tires for a lap here, I think. Plus the skill gap here is so much different. You're talking multiple tenths of a second from first to 15th, and then it's so on and so forth. So all that plays in effect, but all in all, it was a pretty good race tonight. So just happy to come out on top again.
Absolutely, man. Great job. Send some shout outs.
Yeah, thanks to you putting on the broadcast. Thanks to 811 for sponsoring the series. Thanks to Sim500, all the admins for what they do. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to everybody in the race. Thanks to Trey Edson and Units for always keeping me looking good on the racetrack. We're now 8 races in a row talking to you on Sunday night. So hopefully we can continue this streak next week. Milwaukee Mile, probably not my best track. So I have a feeling that streak might come to an end there, but we'll see. Another flat track. I don't mind. I like flat track racing. Milwaukee is just not a track I've ever been good at. So we'll see what we can do, though. We'll go there and try and come out on top and keep gaining these points. We're looking pretty good in the point standings now. So we just got to keep clicking off good finishes and build our points buffer up. So if we miss a race again before the playoffs, and we'll see what happens.
So is this where I remind you that turn 3 at Pocono is shaped after the Milwaukee Mile and what you just did over there?
Turn 3 is also not really my best corner here. The tunnel corner is probably my best corner at the track. So, and that's based off Indianapolis, which is another track that I'm really good at. So, yeah.
Well, still, man, great job tonight.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Justin Fuller, the winner here tonight at the Pocono Raceway, gets himself another top 2 finish, as he said, continues that streak, and did it in a pretty impressive way. I bring up what I said about the best race I've seen here at Pocono, not because of like the cautions and all that different stuff, but just the way the race played out. There was racing everywhere. There was passing everywhere. There was the finish. I had another league race here earlier this season where a guy sent it in from about a half second back, wrecks the guy in front. And you had like 3 or 4 cars wreck the guy that was like 5th or 6th coming out of turn 3, wins the race. And then, you're like, okay, that just didn't look good. And then you see this tonight. And to see the positivity is the word I want to use here. Just out of the drivers. Yeah, there's people disappointed and stuff. But it's like, people enjoyed the race. And that's the cool part about it. So that's kind of what I take out of this. It was great. Strategy everywhere. Fuller talked about the tires being a difference. And everybody doing their thing tonight. And, unfortunately the record gets broken for the cautions in this race. And there have been a little bit more yellows than usual in this series, unfortunately, this season. But the racing's still intense. And the series is just continuing to bring together race after race after race. And you think this was wild. Come back tomorrow night at Talladega. I was kind of hinted by somebody that Thursday night in the GOAT Series at Talladega was one of the best super speedway races the series has seen. From according to 1 or 2 people. So we'll see if they can do it again tomorrow night. Kevin and I will have the call for you at 8:15 Eastern Time. We'll get you ready for racing from Talladega in the NC811.org Cup Series tomorrow night. So thank you, viewers, for watching. Appreciate everybody for joining us on the stream. Big shout out to NC811 for sponsoring the series. And shout out to the drivers. Thank you, Joey, for allowing me to broadcast as we go on from there. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. And remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
This copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, reused, or retransmitted in any form without the authorized written consent of Captain Esports Network. Captain would like to thank all of his loyal fans for your continued support, and he hopes you enjoyed today's broadcast.